and then output information. And you imagine you have millions of such cells in your brain and billions of connections between the cells, and you can see how complex the brains are. So you really do not underestimate the brain. And remember, the human brain takes a long time to fully develop. Remember, we spent 9 months in the womb, and from infant to 2 years old, really the brain develops exponentially in a sense. And even when you reach, say, the age of 20, 30, your brain continues to develop. There was a myth, another myth is that, okay, when you reach the age 25 or 21, depending on different people, so your brain, didn't develop anymore. It just lost, started to lose information, to lose cells, and it didn't generate new connections. And recent studies show that's false. And the brain can continue to generate not only new connections between the cells, but also new neurons. So that's really a funny thing, so many things we didn't know. And in a sense, even in your 50s, 60s, you can still generate new connections. You can still learn things, you can still do things which you couldn't do before. So in that sense. So the last part here, Churchland talked about sort of artificial neural networks. And really, here is really the brain teaches the computer how to do things. There are two traditional approaches to AI. The one traditional one, the standard, the orthodox one, topological programming, is really based upon the digital coding, 0, 1, 0, 1, to encode all the information. So, for example, you write a paper on your computer. All those letters, alphabets, commas, whatever it is, all the formats. How is it stored in your computer? It's really just a sequence of 0, 0, 1, 1, right? All this are digitalized. It's really no different from any other thing that computer store. Programs, images, even the music, videos. Fundamentally, they are just a sequence of 0, 1s. At least for the computer we are using right now, laptops, desktops, all the computers we are using are based upon the digitalized encoding, decoding of information.
What I was going to say is that too bad he didn't get in, only to have a little bit of a background in computer science, but basically what he was talking about is what they call a binary system. Like, for example, the letter A may be 0001, the letter B may be 0010. Okay, so that's the way.
The sort of ASCII codes have the 8-digit binary code. And remember, even it's just a binary, it's having exactly the same representational power as any other digital system, like the 10 digital system we're using. It just needs more numbers. Yeah, let's say, to represent 16, you need, say, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. 1 plus 4 0, that's 16 in our numeral system. But everything you can represent numerically in our system can be represented in the binary system. So exactly the same power, but it's much easier for the computer to process. For the computer, it's just a low voltage, a high voltage, that's all. Low voltage 0, high voltage 1. That's all they need. Even with neurons, you have the polarized state and depolarized state. It's just 0, 1 in some sense. Really, it's just 2 states. Don't need a lot of states to represent the information. Neural networks is really something we also call connectionist. It's really based upon how the brain processes information and then teach the computer to do the same thing. This is very different from the logic programming because it's really not. And you input say, hey, this time you did right. Again, the machine will adjust the weight. Okay, I did it right. So there's something must be right in this time of processing. And eventually, after 1,000, sometimes 8,000 of trial and error, the machine can do it perfectly. And not just with those samples, but with new things, new sound. The sound the machine had never heard before. And that's a real true machine learning, just like human, we do. We learn how to recognize, like a child, how to recognize the sounds, the words, letter. Eventually, we just did it easily with any kind of letters. And if your sentence is so easy for human being to recognize it, imagine, you have a 2-year or 3-year-old child and try to teach him how to recognize a letter or number. It's not easy. There's a lot of trial and error for the child to understand what it is. And computer, I don't know whether they can learn faster or slower, but they can learn. Eventually, they can learn pretty well, and can really solve those recognition problems, which the traditional logical approach couldn't do. The logical approach had a lot of problems. And also, it's really very plastic, very flexible. You change the system a little bit. Say, sometimes this sound change, this task change, either retrained. You retrained, has a new sample of data and train again, and it learn again something new. It's really very flexible system. It's just like a human being. You could forget something, you could learn something, you have some habit, you can unlearn your habit. It's really like a human brain, human mind that sense. And really, just all those troubles which the traditional AI has faced have been solved by the neural networks. So this is it. So that's it. I don't know. Okay, I have 3 minutes left. Any questions?
I know this is a really basic question. So the neuron is a cell that connects other neurons?
The neuron is one cell, and it has different shapes, different size, and there are also many interconnections between neurons. I don't know whether I have a video somewhere.
And he had illustrations in the book, and they were okay, I guess. But they're a specific kind of cell, right?
Yes, there are different kinds of neurons, different kinds of cells. It's very short. But you see, the neurons.
Underneath the newfangled cortex, the brainstem,
really complicated,
the limbic system,
structure
and the
in the
basal
brain.
ganglia date back to the mastodons, the dinosaurs, and the first amphibians. In humans, the old parts of the brain oversee emotion and help build memories. They control heart rate and breathing. They also form intimate connections with the new brain, the cortex. Though less than a quarter-inch thick, the cortex is the brain's crowning glory. Among its roles, the cortex is our reality check. It filters and orders the outside world for us, and allows us to see, touch, hear, and speak. The cortex is also the human thinking cap. All our plans, thoughts, and ideas originate in this layer. The cortex is packed with nerve cells. About 2/3 of all our neurons operate here. A piece of cortex tissue, no larger than a pinhead, can house 30,000 of these cells.
Give you a number how many neurons you have.
Each neuron has a job: to communicate with other neurons. The brain works by forming networks among these cells.